Another week, another great gathering here with you guys for an amazing workshop. Welcome to the roadmap to Black Friday success, step 2. And today we will talk about automated workflows. But first, let me introduce myself and the wonderful team I have here with me. While I'm doing that, let us know in the chat where you guys are joining us from today. We are really curious to know. My name is Kate. I am a customer education manager here at Omnisend, and I will be your host today. With me, I have an amazing e-commerce expert, director of customer success, and a dad full of dad jokes, Gabe Macaluso. Gabe, go ahead and say hi to everyone.
Hey everyone, excuse me. Super excited to be here, and I am calling in from Charleston, South Carolina.
Awesome. Thank you. I also have a team behind the scene working to make sure we provide the best quality for you today and answer all of your questions. And let's go quickly through our agenda so you know what to expect from this workshop. As you might know, we had our first step a couple of weeks ago dedicated to forms. If you missed it, it is available on our YouTube channel, and you can find the link in the chat. We will send it there to make sure to watch it. It's full of information that you really need to know. And I want to run a poll with you with a couple of questions to see how many of you actually participated and how many of you enabled a form after we discussed things, and also how many subscribers approximately you have. Like, do you have a bigger audience or smaller? Let me start the poll. Okay, it is running, and while you guys are answering, back to the agenda. I think some of you might still wonder why we're talking about Black Friday so early, but let me tell you this. Black Friday is the biggest event in e-commerce. And if you plan to participate in this event, and I mean, run a sale, or maybe you prepared some cool offers for your audience, it is going to be a very busy period for you. And if you don't want to be in chaos that time, you should start prepping early to have a stress-free event. And if you're not participating, and I really have a question, why not? Why miss out? Because it's the biggest event for e-commerce. In fact, even if you don't plan to run any sale this year, people still tend to shop more during the Black Friday. It's like something from the to-do list nowadays, I would say. And I can confirm it with my personal experience. Last year, I bought a lot of things I wanted, and I specifically was waiting for Black Friday to shop, regardless that some brands didn't offer any discounts. After all, I still bought things I wanted. So I was just waiting, thinking, what if they do? So I think it's a good sign, it's like a good example that you should anyway be prepared for the spike in your sales. Gabe, do you have any other reasons, maybe?
Yeah, it's fun. People like to send campaigns and sell things. You guys are all here and have brands because you want to make money. And so Black Friday, Cyber Monday is a great opportunity to make more money. And we also here's a bonus tip. This is an unsolicited bonus tip for joining us today. Is Prime Day is July 11th and 12th. I encourage all of you to send a campaign before the 11th and say, we got the drop on Prime Day, and give your consumers a little bit of an extra discount. It starts priming the pump already, so they know what to expect when Black Friday, Cyber Monday come around. And you start building that cadence of campaigns so that people are familiar with your brand. And again, you make more money. Everyone wants to make more money. That's the ultimate goal. So we're going to help you do that today.
Awesome. Yep. All right. I see that some of you guys already answered. And let me end the poll and let's see the results. It's only 24 of you who answered, but still we have 6 people who participated in our last workshop. And I am personally really happy to see you guys here back and know that you are interested in prepping early for the Black Friday. I'm happy to see all of you interested in the Black Friday and prepping early. Did you enable or improve your pop-up sign-up form? Okay, so 3 people created a new sign-up form. 4 people improve the existing one. 9 people have a very good performing pop-up, and 8 people do not collect new subscribers. And I have a question, why? Because, well, my thoughts, you're missing out so much, not increasing your audience. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, the pop-up, we talked about this in the first session, which I know the link is posted there, so you can go back and watch it. Not during the live session, do it afterwards. But we like that you're here. We're going to have fun chatting today. But it was funny because I was thinking back when I was like 12, 11 years old, we had pop-up blockers, and pop-up was sort of like this bad word that you didn't want on your websites. But pop-ups work. And for a long time, they were seen annoying. I think on past that, they're not annoying. They can be annoying, but they're a great opportunity, great way to kind of introduce yourself as a brand, kind of give that little taste of what kind of content, what kind of campaign, what kind of voice your brand is going to bring in, what kind of experience your customers are going to have shopping at your store. So you're missing out on opportunities. We always kind of say that 3 to 5% is a good submission rate. So you think about like how much unique site visitors you have. So let's say you have like 10,000 unique site visitors. 3 to 5%, that's an extra 300 to 500 contacts. You guys are going to know what that average conversion rate of contacts coming to your website. You now own that email address, so you're not competing with like trying to do social media ads. You've already spent enough money on getting those customers to your website, those contacts to your website. So seize the opportunity, grab that contact information. They're signing up to hear from you. So take advantage of that. And we know that email is going to be your number one ROI driver, email and SMS, which we're going to talk about today. So just get them on your list, start nurturing that relationship and getting them to purchase.
Right. Stop losing new buyers and more revenue. And the last question in this poll, how many email and SMS contacts do you have? Okay, looking at, and I have a lot of options here. So from 0 till 20,000 plus. I am surprised to hear that we have at least 4 people here joining us that have 20,000 plus subscribers, audience. Awesome. But yeah, that's great. And we have all kind of stores here, all kind of brands from 100 subscribers till 20,000 plus. That's great. I'm sure you guys are gonna hear a lot of still good things, good insights that could help your email marketing strategy. And let me stop sharing. It is important to mention for me that we know that you guys are all at different email marketing levels here, but we, as I already mentioned, prepared some good insights for all of you. We will talk about basics and we will talk about more advanced things. Our topic today is automated workflows, and we will talk about important workflows that must be set up in your account so you don't lose all of that revenue. And most importantly, it's not only about money. It's important to build a great image for your brand and gain the trust of your buyers. And believe me, automated workflows work wonders on that. We will cover 6 automated workflows that you must have for not only everyday marketing, but those that could and should be updated for the Black Friday event. And me and Gabe will share some great examples too. And additionally, we will talk about SMS marketing, because in my opinion, it is an integral part of automated emails. It should be included there. The workshop is being recorded, so don't worry about that. You can always rewatch it or share it with others later. You will receive an email to your inbox, and you can always find it on our YouTube channel. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the Q&A tab you can find below, and we'll make sure that you get your answers. Lastly, when the workshop is over, when it ends, you'll have a prompt with the survey. We would appreciate it if you could spare some time and share your thoughts with us. It's just a minute or 2. I'm done with the agenda. And now let me ask you this. I have another poll for you, but I promise it's the last one. Do you have workflows already set for your store? And if you do, please let us know how many and which ones. And I am launching the poll.
We're definitely making them do the work today.
Sorry, what did you say, Gabe?
I say we're making them do the work today.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm really curious to know. It's interesting how many they already have automations, automated workflows set up, and which ones, because we will cover a lot of workflows today.
Absolutely.
So,
and if I was
yeah.
participating in this poll, I'd be taking a screenshot of this, because if anything, this is a really, really good checklist, not necessarily in the order that I would do them in, but a really good checklist of, I think I have all the automations enabled. What should I do next? Just come back here. And if you haven't checked all of them, you can go back and add those. So lots of upside opportunities here.
Yep, that's true. So if you need it, guys, make sure to take that screenshot. While you're answering, Gabe, I'd like to talk about the importance of automated emails, because, well, depending on the answers of this poll, and not only the answers of this poll and those who participate today with us, I feel that it's very important to talk about the importance of automated emails, because recently, for some reason, I've seen too many brands who don't have even one workflow set up, and they miss out on so much on, on the revenue, most importantly.
So it's funny, because I did a podcast at the beginning of 2023, and if you can't tell, for our webinar participants, I like to tell stories. So Kate gives a knowing smile, like, oh, here's a story. As she mentioned, I'm a dad, so I've always got a good story to educate. But that being said, 2023 for me was kind of like the year to be lazy in email, right? Like, we've done all this work, we've had COVID, all this stuff, and automations are like the ultimate laziness, in terms of like, you just set them and forget them. Like, we can get so wrapped up as a solopreneur, a person who just loves our brand, a person who's passionate about like the specific look of our brand, that we almost get paralyzed by this idea of like, it's not perfect, I can't turn it on. And if you kind of put yourself on the consumer side of things, and you think about the last abandoned cart email that you got, or the last welcome automation you got, like, it's pretty, it's got some good colors and stuff. But like, I guarantee you, if you really start nitpicking, there's a pixel, there's an extra line, there's something misaligned in that email. Not everything's going to be perfect. So we have a saying like, perfect is better than done, or done is better than perfect. There it is. Let me flip that around. Done is better than perfect. Getting something out the door will absolutely help you increase your revenue. So Kate's going to show us some things today in the Omnisend application that will basically allow you to set these up within 15 minutes. The templates are built for you. We can bring in your brand assets. They're going to generate revenue. So it's always better to get something going live, getting it kind of starting to generate that revenue, getting people used to that cadence of emails as they're going through the shopping experience. And then you can go back and adjust. It's like, if you're trying to get healthy, you don't go to the gym the first time and expect to like, deadlift 8 times your body weight. Like, you have to build up. It's practice, it's efficiency. But if you don't ever go and do a weight lift, and you never start at the very basics, you're never going to get to that ultimate goal. So you've got to start somewhere and then kind of build on it. But if you expect it to just be perfect from day one, you'll never get there. And then you just don't enable it. And then you don't make that revenue, and you're missing out. Time and time again, the merchants we work with, they're making more revenue and higher ROI with their automations than sending campaigns. It's less work, more money. Who doesn't love that saying? Less work, more money. Like, that is the ultimate hack in life. So definitely set up these automations.
Yeah, I totally forgot about the major point that it saves a lot of your time. It basically runs automatically, automated workflow. Okay. All right, great. I can end the poll. I see that some of you already voted, and let me share the results. Okay, so how many automated workflows do you have enabled in your Omnisend account or store? I am happy to see that only one person marked 0. And lucky you, today you will learn so much, and we'll be ready to enable at least a couple of automations and boost your sales for sure. And I'm really happy to hear, to see that at least 3 people here have 10 plus. 10 plus is advanced, in my opinion. That's a lot, but it doesn't mean that it's bad. It's really cool that you invest in automated emails. Okay, great. A little bit of everything. A couple of people who have 1 to 3, 4 to 5, 6 to 8. That's great. Let's see if you will hear something new, maybe improve, maybe create more automations. And let's see what kind of automations, automated workflows do you have? Welcome and abandon cart is the top. And that's good. That's great. Those are like, if I would choose 2 out of the whole list, I would personally choose welcome and abandon cart, probably. What would you choose, Gabe?
If I had to pick one, I would do abandoned cart. And I think this ties perfectly into Laura. She made a comment in the chat about, you know, having them run through the platform versus Omnisend. And that's a question we get a lot is what's the advantages there? So I was excited that I saw her post this. So there is some advantages. So we'll just kind of talk about Shopify. Obviously, Omnisend integrates with a whole bunch of different e-commerce platforms, but it's always easier just to kind of talk about one. So if you're on Shopify and you have their abandoned checkout, great solution, easy to set up, it works, right? We're not asking you to reinvent the wheel. However, if you integrate with Omnisend and you start turning those on in Omnisend, you have abandoned checkout, which can be a different sort of content and voice versus people who abandon their cart. So we're basically reversing the funnel, right? So all the way at the bottom of the funnel is order you've purchased. If you haven't purchased, but you made it to checkout, okay, that's a different phase. Like, if Kate gets to checkout, why did she abandon it? Maybe she didn't want to pay shipping. Maybe she was about to hit purchase, but she doesn't know where her credit card is, so she's going to go find it, right? That's a high intent to buy versus abandoned cart. She's pretty intense, and then that you've added things to her, your cart, Kate, but you haven't quite committed to the point where you're going to the checkout page. Then we go even further up the funnel, and I'm kind of cheating off this list, but we have abandoned products. So Kate's looked at a specific pair of shoes, a specific dress. So she's looking at something specific, and Omnisend gives you the ability to do abandoned products. So, hey, you've been checking these things out, give these things another look. So intent to buy that they've actually I do the proverbial, they've pulled it off the virtual shelf, but they haven't actually put it in their shopping cart. They're just putting it back on, but they've kind of got this idea of the style that they like. And then abandoned browse is even more vague, where it's just, maybe she went to the dresses page, but didn't look at a specific dress. So she's starting to shop for an event, but not something specific. So Laura, that was a really, really long-winded answer for Shopify allows you to do abandoned checkout, but that's it. It's only one step of those funnels. So if you pull those into Omnisend, you've now added 3 additional workflows to that one. Same thing with like shipping confirmation, order confirmation. You do have to be on Shopify Plus for those. And why do people like those to bring those to Omnisend? It creates consistency in the brand across the board. So all of your reporting, all of your emails, product recommendations, all that kind of stuff are coming out of one system. And some people like that. When we're prioritizing what automations to build, we're always like, usually do welcome first, just because that's the way you kind of do your brand introduction. Abandoned cart or abandoned checkout is going to be your highest ROI. So it's those two. I'm kind of like, yes, do those two really to kind of get started, because those are going to be your highest intent and highest ROI. So they're kind of one and the same. And then once you get all that stuff kind of set up and you see the revenue coming in, then you start going in and we start tweaking and we start optimizing. And that's where we start pulling in like, okay, let's pull in the order confirmation. What additional revenue can we get out of it if we pull it in? And then you start doing additional follow-up steps, which we're going to talk about today, where it's like post-purchase upsell. So we do the order confirmation email. Hey, thank you for your purchase. Or waiting a couple of weeks, did they purchase a second time or a third? Did they purchase again in this 2-week window? They haven't. Now we can use that same automation to then send a follow-up email and say, hey, Laura, you should have gotten your product. We hope you love it. Click here to leave a review. Or if you want, come back and purchase again and we'll give you 20% off, right? That's where that follow-up starts going. And Omnisend just gives you a little bit more flexibility in setting up those splits, those filters, versus just triggering those out of Shopify. So again, really long-winded answer, but multifaceted, and it gets exciting. And I really geek out about this stuff, so we can always chat about
it. All right, great. Just to comment a little bit more on your answers, guys, I'm really happy to see that a couple of you have birthday automations and customer reactivation. Those are really good. I would say those are already maybe more advanced, because you always start with more simple things. So that's great that you have them. That's really cool. But overall, I see that, yeah, you guys have at least one of those automated workflows enabled, and that's great. I'm really happy that you are interested in automated workflows. Let me stop sharing. And I think it's time to dive in to the whole kitchen of automated emails and everything. Before we start with our first workflow that we're going to talk about, I really want to quickly share my screen and show you our workflow builder and the library that we have with pre-built templates for you. I'm sure that many of you already seen that, but I'm pretty sure that some of you didn't. Let me just quickly share and let me know if you, I think you should see my screen right now.
Yeah,
yep,
we got
awesome.
it.
Great. So you can find and build your automated workflows here in automation tab. Just click it and it will open this page and click new workflow button. It opens the library that we created for you to save your time. Gabe already mentioned that you can say that automated emails are for lazy people maybe, or for those who don't have time. Yeah, if you don't feel creative or don't feel like spending too much time on that, just pick a template you need. For example, we want to build welcome. It has this welcome has one email. You can filter these flows by the type, goal, or channel. Let's say I want welcome. We have 2 templates for welcome, one with 1 email, another one with 3. Let's choose 3 just to quickly see how the builder looks like. So here it is. It has 3 emails, already pre-built emails as well for you. If you don't feel like creating an email from scratch, you can just, always adapt things inside those emails, like your according to your branding, to the incentive you offer. For example, here it's automatically 10% discount. Maybe you don't want to run it like to offer a discount. Maybe you just want to welcome your new subscriber, and that's it. And that's okay. Just don't forget to change things here to not mess up and send something you don't offer. Everything is super easy. You just click on any item that you want to change, adjust, triggers, the delay, timing, and the content of emails. If you want to add an SMS, you can easily just pull and drop it wherever you want your SMS to be sent, after first email, after second, third, together with the email if someone subscribes to both channels. And you can also pull flow actions the same way. Don't forget that we have push notifications as well. Basically, that's how the builder looks like. All the settings are on the right. You can adjust them here to your liking. We are not gonna stop here anymore, at least for now. I think it's, unless you guys have more questions that we'll get to at the end of the session, we will definitely come back to the builder if you have any questions about it. So for now, let me stop sharing my screen and let's talk about our first automated workflow, which is welcome. That's how it starts, with welcoming when you acquire a new subscriber. I know you have a couple of slides that you want to share with us today, so you can go ahead and do that.
Yeah, absolutely. So anytime I do webinars, well, one of the things I love about, working with merchants is, again, you're all in this market, you're all in this space because you have this passion for whatever it is you're selling online, for the most part. Some of us, it's a job, but for the most part, it's like you found a niche, you found something that you're passionate about, and so you've built a business around it. And so to me, it's always about defining the experience. And that's what the welcome automation allows you to do. So in the first, series, we talked about pop-ups. And so when we're talking about the welcome, you kind of have to have the pop-up hand in hand, right? Because this pop-up, this is Modcat. They're one of my favorite brands that uses Omnisend. They sell litter boxes. So it's one of those things where you're like, litter boxes, how can we get passionate about a litter box? But you can have a lot of fun with it, right? Like that's what, and the guys over there are phenomenal. So just a fantastic, great story of what they're doing and why they do it. And I was always a dog person and got a cat 2 years ago. So now I'm like a cat person. So here we go. But you can see like their incentive, 10% off. It's very clear what you're getting by signing up. Join our email list. You get access to the new products. But then they also give you health articles, right? Because they do have a limited product catalog. So they have to be creative in terms of what content are they going to continue to push to their audience to keep them engaged and to keep them going. And then they have a 3-part welcome series. And it's very simple, right? Like heavy image. You can find all these articles in terms of like, hey, what content should we include? 80-20, like it should be 80% text, 20% image. No one knows what that ratio actually means. So, just do what works for you and what fits the brand. If you have a custom font, use it as an image. That's totally okay. And that way that custom font will display in all internet providers out there, because Google has Google fonts and Google fallbacks. And why? Because it doesn't matter what beautiful custom font you have, Gmail will never display it because Gmail's Gmail and font licensing is very expensive. So if you have a specific font that you love or a specific font design for your brand, use an image, totally okay. And who doesn't love a cat giving a high five? So this is their first one. Thanks for signing up. Below the fold, which I didn't include in this because wanted to make the image super clear, it's the link to the custom discount that you can automatically apply. And then as they go through the process, so this is in the second email, trying is believing, sort of that like user generated content in terms of like, this is again, creating that experience of like, hey, don't just take our word for it. Like you can buy this thing. It's probably going to be the most expensive litter box you ever buy. But hey, if you don't love it, we'll give you your money back in 30 days. Plenty of time for the cat to get adjusted to it. And then here's your user generated content. So reviews, and they don't have to be dynamic. I always tell people like, you can kind of fake it, right? Without spending a lot of money on like point apps to do these like real-time user generated reviews and that kind of stuff. You can always screenshot, copy those things. If it's in a review and it's been left, you can use it as a static copy, a static element to your email. I would say update them like, kind of have like a spring cleaning list, like once a year, kind of go through and like, is this still relevant? Does this still make sense? Which is just be your natural sort of like maintenance kind of thing happening. So do that. So you got, some best litter box and good stuff. And then this is kind of a flip side. So this is another brand, Nomad. So this is their pop-up, which really tells you like nothing, but it fits exactly what their brand is. So they're like an outdoor leather goods brand. And so this is their welcome series. It's a 1-part welcome series. It's one message. If I was going to like, give them all the nitty gritty on strategy, I would say, hey, let's split this up into 3. Why does it split us up into 3? Because your first message is always going to be your highest converting, without a doubt. That's when you have the highest intent to purchase. People are excited about it. They've signed up for the brand. Second and third are going to be diminishing returns. But what does that do for us? It says, okay, anyone who doesn't buy on the first email, let's tell them about our story. That gets them to convert on the second email. Maybe we include some product recommendations. And then the third one, that's the commitment to product. So that's like, again, what sets us apart. People love that kind of stuff, especially as we went through the COVID years. People wanted to understand the story behind the brand and like what they were going to do. Is everyone going to read this? No. But if the people get to that third email and they're actually reading through this, I bet you if you look at the people who convert in the third email compared to the people who actually read it, it's going to be almost like a 1-to-1 ratio. So I think that content's important. And they allude to things like social media. They've got their hashtag that builds brand awareness, builds brand just community, if you will. People love the idea of community. And so these are 2 really simple things. And then just this last example, because I love examples. And you can get these too. And I don't know if you can see all my links up here, but mild.com is a great source. So if you need inspiration, there's no greater compliment than copying. And then the other one is really good emails. And this actually breaks it down into like automations and kind of stuff. So great resources for just inspiration, if you will. But this one being said, justice. So I signed up, I have an 11-year-old, almost 12-year-old daughter. This is like a preteen girls thing. I'm a 38-year-old male. I'm now on their email list. I appreciate that justice doesn't have imagery of 13-year-old girls coming to my inbox. It's like clean, it's all text. And it's like, hey, you're part of the squad. Yes, dad goals. But they highlight their mission. And so now I can feel good about buying these products for my daughter. Like, okay, it's all about like female empowerment. They're going to make her strong. This is what their brand is about. And then if I want to see like what they're doing on their social media, I can engage with it there. But like for the most part, 11, 12, 13-year-old girls aren't going to be shopping online. It's their parents going to be shopping online for them. So love this example in terms of just example content. We hit a lot with welcome because they're important. So social, shoemall.com, not even selling anything. I think this was the fourth message in like the 8-part series. But hey, look, I'm all connected with our different things. I mean, this is old example. Have connected with us on our blog. I don't know if blogs are still a thing. And then Kate mentioned it, SMS. If you're not playing around with SMS or you've been like a little averse to trying it, an SMS campaign can feel like extremely daunting in terms of like what's going to happen. So introducing SMS into a welcome series or an abandoned cart automation are great ways to start dabbling in this idea of what does SMS look like? How does my audience engage with it? And how do I incorporate the copy that makes sense to my audience? So SMS to me is one of those things where I like, and you've got to be careful with it. If you sell engagement rings, SMS may not be the best thing for you because, like if you're with your fiance and they're about to be fiance and they see the text come in like, hey, you've been looking at rings, like you got to make sure you're sending appropriate signals. And we don't want to have something uncomfortable come of that. But Fun Boy, they sell giant inflatable pool rafts, like totally makes sense that their demographic would be engaging with them in SMS. And so lots of good examples here in terms of just, here's what we've got going on. Hey, you still haven't used it. I thought we were besties. Hey, here's your last chance. Like, make sure you use this. So using those sense of urgency, using that sense of time running out, that will absolutely kind of push that conversion.
Right. Awesome. Great. I had a couple of questions, but you already covered everything. just one that I'm not sure if you mentioned or not. So that's like the all-time question. Everyone asks that. So how many emails should you have in the welcome automated workflow?
Yeah.
1, 3, 5.
So I'm a big fan of like 3 to 4. I think that's a good kind of sweet spot to aim for. 1 is better than none. Let's be clear about that.
Right.
And then I would say you just have as many that make sense to what you're trying to do with your customers. The beauty of the Omnisend automations is like you can drop people whenever you want. So if it's when they make a conversion, kick them off the workflow. You can send them down different paths. So if your goal is to build your email list, but then also build your social media following, you can do very simple things like, hey, Kate, here's your 15% off. Wait a day. Okay. Did Kate purchase? No. We're going to send her a reminder then. Kate, don't forget about your 15% off. If you did purchase, we're going to send you directly over to, hey, thanks for your first purchase. We're so glad you're part of the family. Make sure you follow all of our socials to like stay in the know, or click here to sign up for SMS so you can be the first to know about our new product drops. And then going back to the other person, so Kate who didn't purchase and she gets a reminder about the 15% off. Maybe we wait 2 more days and she's like, okay, she still hasn't purchased. And then we send her an email with the same social media content, but it's like, need more convincing ? Check out our socials to see how much our fans love us, right? And you kind of you use the same content, but in very strategic ways to kind of push that conversion because people want that social proof. So now Kate goes, she clicks on the social links, she starts following, she goes back, she makes that purchase. Now she's not needing to be reminded again. And now we're going to say, okay, cool. Like you followed us on social. Let's get you hooked up with our SMS accounts. So again, so you can start getting really complicated and start building out all these decision trees. But again, starting with something simple, 3 messages, and then building from there, because in our automations, you can copy the whole automation, create something new. Don't set it live, create it new, add a message, add 2 messages, add a branch. And then once that one's ready, disable the old one. The people on it will continue through, enable it for anybody new again. And now you've got that additional flexibility. So a lot of things you can do with it. Sometimes, again, it can be daunting. So focus on what's the lowest amount of effort that's going to bring the highest return.
Right. Okay, great. Awesome. I actually have a couple of examples that I also prepared. I just want to, show you guys really good, really cool welcome emails from other brands. And by cool, I mean that they look great, they're well designed. And I have an example of really advanced design and also simple, but they both look amazing, no matter, how much time or resources they spend on it. So the first email I'd love to share with you is from Kizik brand, and let me know if you see my.
Yep.
See it? Yep,
We
awesome.
do.
I really love Kizik's emails. I don't know if you Gabe know the brand,
I
but
do.
they're doing such a great job. They have simple emails, but so good looking. It's like not many elements, but they look so elegant to me. And I did not mention that to you guys, but I do email design. So I definitely admire the work of those who created that email. Very simple, the title, the image, and then some text with a discount code. And
Yep.
then they go and, kind of lead you to shop one of their shop men, women, or kids shoes. If you go further, go down, they kind of, talk more about benefits, what kind of luxury stuff they offer. And then they remind you again about the discount that they're offering and the welcome. So everything is done so perfect. And they finish with free shipping, something, those perks that they offer on top. And free returns. So they kind of like in one email, they explained everything and can maybe already convinced you buying. I love this email. Definitely you can take and steal something for your welcome.
I do love the clear call to actions. I will tell you,
Yeah,
shoppers are lazy. You have to tell them what to do. They don't want to have to think. So this is perfect. It fits with the brand. Very smart.
Yeah. And as I already mentioned, obviously, to actually design these visuals, you need to have resources. Maybe you don't, and that's fine. Let me share more simple design, and it is from North Face. Yeah, I think you should see it now.
Yep.
No ultra difficult design. They just put a logo on one of the pictures they have. That's basically it from the design part. So they put an image, have a banner above, they have a title, and they have description. I think they don't offer anything. They just welcome their new subscriber. So image, title, description, gallery of photos. Again, another title, description, call to action. And yeah, no difficult design at all, but they managed to make a really good looking email. So
and
what I'm trying,
I was going to say, so the cheapest hack, if you're like me and you're frugal, if you have PowerPoint, you can save an entire slide as an image. And while it's not Adobe Illustrator, it's free mostly.
Right.
And I think you can do the same thing on Google Slides. So a little hack there, because you can make like the image transparent. You can add copy on top of it and save the entire slide as a really nice image. And then with Canva, I mean, people love Canva. Canva's, I mean, my kids use Canva at school. They're like creating beautiful things. I'm like, can you do my work presentations? These look phenomenal. So if you've got a little bit of time, which I know we're all just swimming in loads of free time, but little tweaks here and there, very simple. So we're all about the easy tips and tricks. Canva, Google Slides, PowerPoint, easy and cheap. You don't have to be an Adobe Illustrator.
For sure. Let me tell you this. I am using Canva for a lot of my designs. And I really don't like, those people who kind of like shame you for using some editors that were created for like everyone and not for only professional designers. And that it's such a broad opinion. You can do so much in those free editors. You just need to know how to use it. That's it. So a lot of different free editors. If you have time, if you want to learn, just go ahead and do that. It's very easy to do it. I have one more example, just quickly, that doesn't have any images at all. So it's for those who, maybe you still think that you can't or you don't know how to create extra images. Here's a very good example that I personally really liked. So it's another welcome email, and it's almost like text-based email. I think it's actually text-based email. It just have some visual here below, but they have logo and they just welcome their new subscriber. They are promoting their socials here, and that's it. They have socials below and a link to their website. That's it. So if you don't have any pictures or you don't want to add any pictures to your email, to your automated email, here you go. I think it's a great example of what you can do. You know, as Gabe already said, it's better to have something than nothing at all. And there's your something. Looks great. Okay, I am done with my examples, although I have more. If we have more time, I would love to share them, but let's switch to our second automated workflow, which is abandoned. Everything about abandoned. You know, there are a couple of abandoned workflows, which is abandoned browse, abandoned product, abandoned cart, abandoned checkout. I have 4. I'm not sure if there's anything else abandoned, but personally, I'd say that all 4 are really good to have, because you never know at which step you might lose your shopper, right? So better be prepared for any scenario. So let's talk about those workflows.
Yeah, I got examples. I'm a visual person. Let's chat through these. So we talked a little bit about it, like in the screenshot idea, right? So so what funnels, right? Everyone knows funnels. We're trying to get them to convert the purchase. So we've done welcome. Hey, you've gotten to the site. Now they're going to start shopping, right? So abandoned browse, as vague as possible as we can possibly get. Hey, you were on our site, maybe a little big brothery. Some people might be weirded out by it, but I think we've all been desensitized to it, right? Like Amazon does all of these things. So of course, like you're expected to do the same thing if you're running an e-commerce store. This is Forever 21, old brand, but like just very generic in terms of like, hey, here are some things you checked out. This is a little bit more specific. But you can kind of even go back to that Kizik example, right? So the idea being like, if someone clicked on Chops Men's and then they have like running shoes and dress shoes and whatever, you can be like, hey, it looked like you were checking out men's shoes. Do you have questions? Here's how you contact our customer support, or this is what customers are saying about men's shoes, or here's men's specific Instagram that you should check out. It can be very generic because again, it's abandoned browse, like it's not a huge revenue driver. It's kind of like start with abandoned checkout, start with abandoned cart. Those are your big money makers. Abandoned product, abandoned browse, like they're going to make you money, but it's like light. It's light money. Okay. So then we go through abandoned cart, right? So wad bottom, this is where we can start incorporating that text and again, being that brand voice. So love this because it's the idea of like they sell underwear. So, and like fun print underwear. So again, their demographic is going to be more likely to engage with them via text. So it's like, hey, you didn't quite make it through checkout. There's a sad face emoji. Here's a happy dance time kind of situation happening. And then, you know, you're holding out. I love that last line. You're holding out, like cracks me up. So some things there. And then because we have to tie this to Black Friday, Cyber Monday, let's not forget, abandoned cart emails have the best order rate on Cyber Weekend. So you've got a couple months before Cyber Weekend. Now is the time to start getting this running because you'll see an increase in revenue as that comes. And then just a couple other examples. And actually, I'm going to skip to the Chubbies one. Chubbies, everyone loves Chubbies. What I love about this is that if you, again, when we talk about like the nitpickiness of like creative design, like it's just the default text that pulls over automatically from their website. Like, because they recognize it was more important to just like get the email out. You can see they've got recommendations going on, but like this product block for the abandoned cart section, like don't kill yourself on making it perfect. Just embrace it. People want quick, dirty, and I could never forget you. One click button to get back to the cart immediately. So don't overthink it. Just get it there. And remember, Chubbies at this point probably has more people in their marketing department than most of you all have in your entire company. They're huge, right? So like, and this is what they're sending out, and that's okay. So if it's okay for them, it's okay for you. Don't overthink it. So perfect. All right, so I'll stop sharing. Kate, what are your thoughts on these abandoned cart, abandoned browse, abandoned product emails?
Well, I definitely think that it's necessary to have at least one, as I already mentioned, that I would love to have all of them set up in my account for sure, because I don't know, maybe they stopped shopping when they already started checking out, or maybe just checking one of the products. It definitely worked on me a couple of times. Me personally, I love shopping, and just, I will visit a website like 100 times and I will never make a purchase from like the first visit.
Sure.
I'm the person who needs some time to think. Even though I need the item, I still I need to think about it. Maybe I don't need it, although I know I do.
What's the one thing you purchase more than you should purchase?
Oh, stuff for home.
There you
Cups, mugs.
There you
I have plenty of some, and plates and mugs, just one of a kind, different ones.
Okay.
I'm crazy about it.
Okay.
And I should definitely stop shopping for home stuff, because I don't have any space left in my home, but I
Okay.
still
So
do.
what we're saying is, if there's any merchants on the webinar today that sell unicorn mugs, cat mugs, dog mugs, just send them
Feel
to
free to
Kate.
target me. Yeah. I will definitely purchase something. Yeah. I also do have a couple of examples of abandoned cart or abandoned checkout. I will not share them all right now because I think we will run out of time, but let me share this one. Okay. Let me know if you can see it. Okay, so I like this one because someone, was shopping for the guitar, and they just, left the checkout. And this brand, they offer, they have Klarna, and they offer this type of payment option. That's a great kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for? A bait or something? I don't know. Like, they offer you a really nice option to purchase, because what if you were doubting that like your purchase because you didn't want to spend the specific amount right away, and there they are offering you this option and kind of like making you to actually complete that purchase. So if you have any, if you offer something like that, if you have some payment options, installments, I think it's a good idea to include it in the abandoned checkout or abandoned cart, because it's a great benefit. It's a great it's a great thing you offer. So why not to talk about it more? Very simple email also. Well, this image is designed, but design is no tough science. It's just text on the black background, so you can definitely pull that off. You don't even have to design it. You can always color the background in Omnisend Builder and just put all the the title and the logo, CTA, another CTA. You can do it without extra like other apps or software. And then there's a product block and trust badges. And your info, very simple email, and you already buy with the first thing your shoppers see in this email. All right, I'm done, and I'll stop sharing. As I said, I do have more examples, but let's see if we have time. Let's now switch to automated workflow number 3, which is confirmation. So let's imagine that your shopper did make a purchase after one of your automated emails. There are 3 confirmation emails that I know that I could think of, which is order confirmation, shipping confirmation, and delivery confirmation. I believe that this set of automated emails has a huge promise. Although I used to think differently. I used to think, confirmation email, what can you delivery confirmation? I've never opened those emails before, I think. I mean, only if I needed to track my purchase. But I used to think that it's just some text, numbers, prices, whatever, just confirming my purchase. But when I started working with email marketing more, I now see so much potential in those personally, because you can, first of all, you give your buyer the assurance that they're looking for. And believe me, that's important to do, because if you don't send that email, you'll lose that trust, because you make your customer, you make your buyer worry. Did the purchase actually was, was the order confirmed? Was it shipped? They miss that info. And there are so many ways to hint at another purchase to your customer. They already made one. If they did, there is a huge possibility that they will make another one. So why wait? The perfect time to sell something else, in my opinion.
That's
What do you
perfect.
think?
I agree. So to me, the order confirmation is the checkout line at the grocery store or the TJ Maxx. And if you've been to any of those stores, like, okay, I'm trying to think. Yeah, we've all been to the grocery store, right? Like, this is the idea, like, you're purchasing. And so what do? They bombard you with additional offers and like that impulse buy. And that's where the highest profitability items are. So Harry's Shopping Club, I love that their and this was actually my order confirmation email. So like, it worked for me. The first thing in their order confirmation is, hey, if you buy this thing, it'll actually let your product last longer. Care tip notifications are a great thing to do in order confirmation. Order confirmations are always going to have some of the highest open rates, highest engagement rates, because people want to confirm, like Kate said, that the purchase is coming. So my purchase was only $5, but immediately clicking and that's a high probability that I'm going to purchase this. Because it's like, one, people are most likely to recommend your product right after they purchased, because they want to validate that the purchase they made was a good decision. I got this great deal on this product. This is the best jacket I've ever purchased. This is the best blanket I've ever purchased. You should also get it, right? Like, you want to, like, it's all about internal psychology of validating, like, whatever you've spent money on, you're going, hey, this was a good purchase. Right? Kate buys a mug and she's like, check out my unicorn mug. It's the best. This has got the best, brightest colors you've ever seen. And she spent $55 on a unicorn mug. And everyone's like, why did you spend $55 on a unicorn mug? But she's validating her purchase. And here it is. And if they send her a thing like, hey, if you wash your mug with this rag, the colors won't run, it'll last longer, and you can take care of it. She's like, I've already invested $55 in this unicorn mug. I've got to take care of it. And now the product, and then now the company's like making more money off of Kate, right? So this is that mentality that you can play around with and work with. And Harry's does a phenomenal job with this. This is another one. Again, this is from COVID. Like, I should really update this slide, but I think Alala did such a good job with this, especially as we get Black Friday and Monday. We're already starting to hear some idea or some kind of concerns around, like, am I going to have inventory? Is my inventory going to make it? What does my warehousing staff look like? Am I going to get stuff shipped out on time? So to me, this was a specific example where they, in their order confirmation, they said, this is what you've ordered. It's going to take us 24 hours to get, we try 24 hours to get the order out the door, but it can take us up to 3 business days. So that means if I buy on a Friday, it's Friday, Monday, Tuesday, and then I might be like, that's really Wednesday. So I'm not going to contact our customer support until Thursday of the next week. I'm literally going to have almost 7 full days. So what is this doing? This is avoiding unnecessary customer support tickets. You may already have reduced staff. You may already have reduced time and flexibility. And so by kind of getting ahead of it and being proactive, I thought this was super smart. So if you have any of those kind of concerns coming into Black Friday, Cyber Monday, get ahead of it now. Start kind of communicating with your customers. This is what it's going to take. This is what it's going to be like, all that kind of stuff. And this is for another topic that we're going to get to. So I'm not going to, I gave you guys a teaser, but we'll start talking about that yet.
That's funny because the email example of a confirmation I want to share right now is from Crocs as well.
Okay, good. See, they know what they're doing over at Crocs. They've kind of made a comeback. My kids love Crocs.
Right?
But there was like that little weird phase of like, oh, don't wear Crocs.
Yeah. All right. So I am sharing that example. It's very simple, although it looks so neat to me. They have just one visual here designed. And it's kind of like, it catches the attention of your buyer and they see that green check mark confirming. For me, I think this order confirmed and green check mark would be enough and give me that assurance I would be looking for. Sometimes, most of the time, most of the confirmation emails that I've seen, they're just plain text on the way background. I think that's the reason why I used to not like those emails. And I was like, what else can I see there? Nothing interesting, no pictures. Why would I open that? But yeah, you can always add something to make your customers open that email, even though it's a lot of numbers, shipping address, and so far, so on. Then there is a product details, the product that has been ordered, the CTA, everything you need to have in a confirmation email. And then they have the return information here. They ask if you have any questions, and they offer to contact them if you have those questions, or check their FAQs page. And they don't have any upsell in the order confirmation, but they do put this menu here just in case, if you, I don't know, just to give you a thought, just to give you an idea. Maybe you need something else for, I don't know, for your kids, or a sale. I think I would make a sale part in red, because that would definitely catch the attention first. And I would definitely click that. I would definitely check out the sale page. So it's just an order confirmation, but I hope you see how many opportunities you have to profit from this simple email. And I do have one more simple one. Crocs had that upper part that you need to design. Let me just share quickly the one that you don't actually have to design. I mean, there's nothing difficult, in my opinion. There it is. So this is from the trade, and they just have also the image here, order confirmed. Adding an image, they're selling coffee apparently, and just adding some image in the order confirmation makes it so much better. If you have time, just add some, I don't know, product picture, or some, I don't know, in style picture, like not necessarily like if you're selling bags, you don't have to add a picture of a bag in the order confirmation. You can just add a small picture of something related to your brand. Pictures always, drag attention, and I'm sure that more people would scroll and look for something else and see something that, for example, they offer to read FAQs to avoid any questions that your customer might have but not find answers to. So they promote their FAQs page here, and also they have trust badges. You can put your upsell here. So what I'm trying to say is, it's also not that difficult. It's a simple picture, and it has a title on top, order confirmed, but it attracts so much more attention than just a white plain email with words and numbers. Yeah, I'm done sharing my examples, and we have one last. I think we already covered that because it's upsell.
Yeah.
And yes, you can upsell in order confirmation or delivery confirmation, but there are more ways to upsell, not necessarily in the order confirmation. So let's talk about that.
Yeah, and Kate, you and I were talking about this as we were chatting about pre-webinar stuff. So Crocs, we put their example. So maybe not an order confirmation, but they do the thing again. We talk about, like, hey, you're going to be promoting that brand. So they do, I call it the bounce back offer, where it's like, okay, I made my purchase. Here's another purchase. Here's another opportunity to purchase again, kind of situation. Be smart with your segmentation. So if someone purchases and then you offer a big site-wide sale next week, I would be careful. I would say I would either exclude your recent purchasers, so you don't have people coming into support going, like, literally the other day I made a purchase and I got an email an hour later being like, hey, here's 30% off your next purchase. Like, but it was just, or like 30% off wide sale. And I was like, guys, now I feel annoyed at your brand because I just made this purchase. And I'm like, is it worth it? No. but that lingers in the back of my mind. And then, of course, refill reminders are easy order confirmation kind of follow-ups. Other things you can do in Omnisend, you've got people who bought this, buy this in the product recommendations block. So definitely insert those into the order confirmation emails. Super easy to add. You don't have to do any custom coding. That dynamic block automatically brings those products in. And so you've got that flexibility. And then I feel like there was another one we were going to talk about, Kate. Now I totally don't remember what it was going to be. But the good news is there's so many opportunities you have to upsell
Right.
and to follow up with people in terms of, these automation follow-ups.
Yeah. First of all, I don't think there was something else. I think we covered everything.
Did we get everything? Okay.
Yeah, but about the upsell, first of all, again, the living example, upsell works. I know that through my
You bought the rag for the unicorn mug, didn't you?
It wasn't that, but it was vitamins. I shopped for some, sweet gummies, vitamins, and they saw me shopping one flavor, and then they thought, why not to offer another? And I was like, I didn't check that one. I might have add that as well, and I purchased that, obviously. So they got me. Yeah, upsell works. It's definitely, it's always the extra revenue. Why not? It won't hurt, but as Gabe said, just be careful if you're running other sales and you're trying to upsell something, and just don't make it, mixed together so you don't become an annoying brand. I do want to share one example that I have, and okay, let me try to open it. Here it is. Okay. So it's from the Frontman brand, and I love the title, Game Changer. It's probably from one of the reviews. They took that from one of the reviews. And if I would shop for some, it's a skincare acne treatment, your buyer purchased something for their face, for maybe acne, just one product, and here comes the upsell from maybe after a week or maybe after a couple of days with the title Game Changer, and offering they are offering just their best sellers here. And if that would be me and I would see that and they would tell me that it's a game changer, I would definitely at least start considering buying that. And believe me, there is a lot of me in this world who would do the same. So again, I love the email. It has it doesn't have any editing, any design. It's just a title, a picture of 5 stars from the reviews, some text, and product block, CTA. All you need, just a product and game changer. I love that email. It's very simple. Nothing.
I do too.
Yeah. Okay. I will stop sharing, and it's already.
I know we're over.
Yeah, 3 minutes over, but we did great, I think.
Yeah.
A lot of info in a very short time. Right, we are done with this part. And again, I feel like it's very important to say it again. I hope you guys understand that, and you understand what role automated workflows play in the email marketing world. We are talking about it today and connecting it to Black Friday. We didn't talk about, we didn't mention Black Friday much, but we will in a couple of minutes. But what I'm trying to say that we are connecting automated workflows to Black Friday, not as the clickbait, because it really, automated emails, they really level up your marketing game, and it significantly increases your revenue. So you must have these automated workflows set to have a smooth Black Friday. We already mentioned that Black Friday is going to be a chaotic period. You will get a lot of, I'm sure, and I hope that you will get a lot of orders this year. So, and you will get a lot of new subscribers. So make sure that their whole path from, starting from subscribing to you and the welcome, the abandoned cart checkout, whatever, and confirmation emails, you should definitely make sure that that path is smooth. And it's not about promoting the event. It's about building a seamless and smooth shopping experience for your buyers. And most importantly, what I think, it's about making sure that a first-time buyer that you will acquire, maybe before Black Friday or during the event, it's very, it will help you to make that first-time buyer to become your loyal customer. Because if you don't have anything set up, like if you don't have any automated email set up, you don't welcome them or you don't provide them much info, they will just, I wouldn't shop maybe there anymore. Maybe I would just, find somebody else. So try to avoid that. That's it from my side. And usually we have Q&A at the end, but you guys don't have any questions.
It's because I talk so much and have so many stories.
Right.
I didn't remember the one thing so this is going to be the parting wisdom for the 41 people that have stuck with us all the way to 11:06. So thank you for eating. Maybe it's really not a meeting you want to go to. So you're like, hey, I'm really stuck in something important. So here we are, we're helping out. We give at Omnisend.
Yeah.
So this is what I remembered. Those post-purchase emails or any of those automations, especially as we get into Black Friday and Cyber Monday, use things like gift guides, recommended gifting. So like if Kate's shopping for her family and she's getting those order confirmations, put a little teaser in there like, hey, don't forget to treat yourself, right? Like that's huge. People are spending more and more every year on themselves for the holidays. We're seeing that trend continue to rise. You deserve yourself. So I always tell especially the merchants that are in apparel, I'm like, hey, you spent all day cleaning the house, getting the dinner ready, getting Thanksgiving, getting Christmas meals all organized, getting the family there, all treat yourself to something nice. Buy yourself a piece of jewelry, buy yourself a new dress, get yourself some new shoes, whatever it is, treat yourself. That's a huge thing that people really underestimate how much revenue you can make from that. And then we see a lot of the matching. So if you can do family matching stuff, those are huge as well. So get something for the whole family. Because again, people are lazy. And so if you tell them what they need to do and you kind of put it together for them, they'll absolutely convert.
They will. Yeah. One more thing that I'm not sure if we mentioned or not. We already said that, we're not creating a separate Black Friday workflow, right? We are adapting those that we already have, or maybe you don't, and you need to make sure that you create those. Black Friday is another great reason to just check those automated workflows that you already have set up and see if they have up-to-date info. Maybe it's worth putting something else in there, knowing that soon you will have a huge spike in your sales. Yeah. Again, automated emails are not about specific event. It's for a long time. It's for just seamless shopping experience. That's it. I think I'll make sure that we will include those examples. I see that some of you left some comments in the chat that you loved examples that we shared. So I'll make sure that we include those in the email with the recording. And don't forget, the workshop is recorded and it will be available soon to you. Thank you so much for participating. Make sure you don't miss out on step 3 and step 4. We have 2 more steps to go through. Step 3 is about promotional strategy. So I think that's a must-attend workshop to be fully prepared for Black Friday. We will be talking only about Black Friday, about campaigns, about how to prep your store, everything you're looking for that specific idea. So make sure to join. You will receive an invitation, and you can already register for both step 3 and step 4. And I have Ira here for the chat. So Ira, if you could drop those links to the chat for our audience today, that would be great. Step 4 is going to be dedicated to segmentation and Gabe, back me up here. Segmentation is also important for the Black Friday. Overall, it's important for email marketing, but it is useful for Black Friday too, right?
Absolutely. Segmentation is important. Almost important as automations, but not quite.
Right. Okay, great. Thank you so much again for participating. Thank you, Gabe, for being a guest speaker today. I think we shared a lot, and I hope our audience will implement all of those ideas that we shared, or at least some.
Yes,
so
absolutely. And feel free to connect with us on LinkedIn. You can find us on there, Omnisend. We put out a lot of great content, YouTube, LinkedIn, all the places, because we practice, we preach. So definitely connect with us out there. We love talking this stuff.
Right. Awesome. I see that we don't have links yet in the chat, but I don't have them right now with me. So you will definitely find those links in the email with the recording. That's fine. Oh, I see that Arnus already sent a link. Awesome. Thank you so much, Arnus. So click the article from our KB and register to the workshop that you're interested in. There are other workshops that you can attend that are not related to Black Friday only. All right. Okay, time to wrap up. 11 minutes over. Thank you so much again, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. I'll see you next workshop. Bye.